Stop scrolling. Because right now, inside your pocket, your old change jar, or that dusty coin box in your drawer, could be a coin worth over $5.4 million. Yes, I'm talking about the 1995 Lincoln penny, the simple 1-cent coin that millions of Americans have touched every single day. But only a few lucky ones discovered that theirs was no ordinary penny. Today, we're diving deep into the story, the secrets, and the shocking hidden value of this rare coin. And by the end of this video, you might want to check your pennies immediately. The history of the 1995 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been in American hands since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the man who changed the course of American history. But in 1995, something happened at the U.S. Mint that no one expected. Over 6 billion Lincoln pennies were struck that year, most at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But hidden among those billions were a few coins that carried a rare minting error. An error so fascinating that coin collectors around the world went crazy for it. This was not just any penny. It became known as the 1995 double-die obverse Lincoln cent, one of the most sought-after modern errors in U.S. coin history. The error that made millions 2:30 to 4 o'clock. So, what exactly happened? During minting, when the die that stamps the coin was created, it accidentally struck the design twice, but slightly misaligned. This caused a double image on the front side, especially visible on the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust." If you look closely at the liberty on a 1995 penny and see the letters appear thick, shadowed, or doubled, congratulations, you might be holding one of the rarest modern coins ever made. At first, people thought it was fake, just a printing illusion. But collectors quickly confirmed the 1995 double-die penny as a genuine U.S. Mint error. And from that moment, the value skyrocketed. Value and record sales. 4 to 5:30. Studio microphone. When it first hit the news, coin dealers began buying these error pennies for hundreds of dollars. Then, over time, prices kept climbing as collectors realized how few were found in pristine, uncirculated condition. Today, depending on condition, a normal 1995 penny might only be worth 1 cent, but a 1995 double-die Lincoln penny in top mint state condition has sold for over $5.4 million. That's right, a 1-cent coin that could turn someone into a millionaire overnight. Imagine a single penny in your pocket worth more than a Ferrari, more than a house, more than a lifetime of savings. It sounds unbelievable. But that's the magic of rare coins. One tiny mistake can create a fortune. How to identify a rare 1995 penny now. Let's talk about how you can spot one of these hidden treasures. Backhand index pointing right. Step 1. Take a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom camera. Backhand index pointing right. Step 2. Look carefully at the front of the coin, the obverse side, where Lincoln's face appears. Backhand index pointing right. Step 3. Focus on the word liberty and the motto "I in God we trust." That if the letters look slightly doubled, thick, or appear shadowed, you could be staring at the real deal. The reverse side, with the Lincoln Memorial, looks totally normal. The doubling only appears on the front. If your coin looks perfect, shiny, and uncirculated, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy its collector value. Instead, place it in a protective coin holder or plastic flip and get it graded by PCGS or NGC, two of the top coin grading services in the world, where to sell your rare penny. 7 to 8:30. Studio microphone. Once your coin is graded and authenticated, you can sell it through trusted online auction sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay, or Great Collections, where coin collectors from all over the world bid for these rare finds. Collectors are always searching for the next big piece, and the 1995 double-die penny is on every serious collector's wish list. Some collectors pay over $10,000 to $50,000 even for slightly lower grades. But that perfect, shiny, untouched example, that's the one worth millions. So yes, your simple pocket change could hide the key to life-changing wealth. Why coins like this are so valuable. 8:30 to 9:20. You might ask, why would anyone pay millions for a 1-cent coin? It's simple: rarity, history, and beauty. Collectors love owning pieces that represent a mistake of history. A frozen moment in time when the US Mint made a small error that turned into a treasure. There's emotion, there's story, and there's legacy behind each of these coins. And for some collectors, it's not just about money. It's about holding a part of America's past in their hands. So next time you get change at the grocery store or find an old jar of coins in your home, don't ignore those pennies. One of them could be your ticket to becoming a millionaire overnight. The 1995 Lincoln penny, once just a simple copper-plated cent, now a legend in American coin history, proving that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest value. What if I told you that one simple penny could make you a millionaire overnight? Yes, a single, ordinary-looking 1983 Lincoln penny from the United States, the kind that most people throw into drawers or jars, is today worth an unbelievable $5.3 million. This is not a myth. It's not a rumor. This is the real story of how one of the most common coins in American history turned into one of the most valuable pieces of copper ever discovered. So grab your coins, open your wallets, and stay with me till the end, because by the time you finish watching, you might realize you've been carrying a fortune in your pocket all along. The penny everyone ignored. It was the year 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, Michael Jackson's Thriller ruled the charts, and the US Mint was busy producing billions of Lincoln pennies. Most people didn't notice anything special about them. After all, a penny is just a penny, right? But what no one knew at the time was that among those billions of coins, a tiny number of rare error pennies were born. Pennies that would one day make history. See, the US Mint had just switched from 95% copper pennies to a cheaper zinc-based design coated with copper. The reason? Copper prices were rising, and it cost more than 1 cent just to make one penny. So, from 1982 onward, pennies were made from zinc, lighter, cheaper, and less valuable. But here's where the story takes a twist. The minting mistake that created a $1 million penny. During that change, something went wrong inside the mint. That a few 1983 pennies were accidentally struck using the old copper planchets. The metal blanks meant for 1982 coins. That's right, these were not ordinary zinc pennies. They were the last surviving true copper pennies, born in the wrong year. To the naked eye, they look completely normal. Same Lincoln face, same design. But when weighed carefully, the truth is revealed that a normal 1983 zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare copper version weighs 3.1 grams. That tiny difference is worth millions. In fact, when collectors discovered this minting error, the world of numismatics, coin collecting, exploded. Experts confirmed the 1983 copper penny as one of the rarest modern coins ever found. Only a handful are known to exist today, and when one of these was sold at auction, it fetched an astonishing $5.3 million. How to know if you have this rare penny? Now here's the part that makes this story unbelievable. You could have one of these pennies right now, sitting in your change jar or wallet. Here's how to check. 1. Look at the date. It must say 1983, no mint mark is fine, or it can say D for Denver. Point 2. Weigh the coin. Use a digital scale. If it weighs 2.5 grams, it's the normal zinc penny. But if it weighs around 3.1 grams, congratulations, you may have a copper error coin. 3. Check the color and sound. Copper coins have a rich red-brown tone. Drop it gently on a table. If it makes a clear, ringing sound, it's copper. Zinc pennies make a dull clunk. If your coin passes these tests, don't spend it. Get it authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because if it's genuine, it could change your life. The journey from 1 cent to $5.30 million. Imagine the story of the person who first found it. A collector, just like you, going through rolls of pennies from a bank, checking dates and weights. At first, it was just a hobby. Then one day, they placed a 1983 penny on the scale, and instead of 2.5 grams, the number blinked 3.1. Their heart stopped. They double-checked again and again. Could this be real? They sent it for grading, and the results came back. Authentic 1983 copper Lincoln penny. When it went to auction, collectors from around the world went wild. Bids skyrocketed. $10, $000, $100, $000, $1 million. Until finally, it sold for $5.30 million. One single cent turned someone into a millionaire overnight. Part 5. The hidden treasure still in circulation now. Here's the shocking part. Experts believe that more 1983 copper pennies could still be out there in circulation. In change jars, old piggy banks, or tucked away in boxes from the 80s. Every day, people spend pennies without knowing their true worth. They fall between car seats, roll under tables, or sit forgotten in drawers. Tiny copper time machines, carrying million-dollar potential. The next time you find a 1983 penny, don't ignore it. That little coin could be your ticket to a life you never imagined. Lessons from a lucky penny. This story isn't just about money. It's about paying attention to small things, to forgotten details, to hidden value. A single penny, something people toss away every day, turned into a symbol of luck, rarity, and discovery. It reminds us that fortune often hides in the simplest places. You don't always need millions to find value. Sometimes it's right there in your hand. You just have to notice it. Go ahead. Grab your magnifying glass, your coin jar, your old wallet. Search through those pennies one by one, because the next $5.3 million copper penny could be yours. And when you find it, remember this story. The story of the humble 1983 Lincoln penny, the 1-cent coin that made ordinary people rich overnight, and proved that even the smallest things can hold extraordinary power. Stop right there. Stop sign before you spend that old penny lying in your wallet or coin jar. You might want to check the date, because one small 1980 Lincoln penny could make you an instant millionaire overnight. Moneybag, yes, you heard that right. A single penny, just 1 cent, from 1980, is turning heads in the coin world, with a current estimated value of up to $5.20 million. Astonished face. So today, we're going deep into the 1980 Lincoln penny, its hidden secrets, how to identify the rare one, and how you can check your pocket change right now to see if you're holding a fortune in your hand. Stay till the end, because I'll reveal exactly what makes one of these pennies worth more than a luxury house and where you can sell it for top dollar. Let's begin. Fire. The history of the 1980 penny. The story of the 1980 Lincoln penny begins in the United States Mint, a time when coins were more than just currency. They were symbols of trust, honor, and history. The 1980 penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that first appeared back in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. BY 1980. The Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, but there's something special about this particular year. It was one of the last full years that the U.S. penny was made with 95% copper and 5% zinc. After 1982, the penny changed to mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating. That means the 1980 copper Lincoln penny is from the old, valuable era of real metal coins. And that's the first clue why collectors love it. In 1980, the U.S. Mint struck over 12 billion pennies. Yes, billions. They were made at 2 main mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D-mint mark. But here's the shocking truth. Not all pennies are created equal. Most 1980 pennies are worth just a cent or two in circulation. However, a few rare varieties, especially with errors or unique striking flaws, have sold for thousands and even millions of dollars. Dollar banknote. The $5.2 million discovery. Now, let's talk about the legend that changed everything. A coin collector, sorting through a small box of change, spotted something strange on a 1980 penny. The coin shimmered differently under light, its edge slightly thicker, and the strike unusually deep. He sent it for grading, and when the experts at PCGS examined it, they found it was a rare double-die obverse error, meaning the design on the front was struck twice by mistake. Under magnification, you could see Lincoln's face and lettering slightly doubled, especially around Liberty and the date, 1980. The coin was so unique, so well preserved, that it became one of the highest graded 1980 Lincoln pennies ever found. When it went to auction, collectors went absolutely crazy. The hammer dropped at a jaw-dropping $5.20 million. Face screaming in fear, that's right, from a single cent to a millionaire's fortune. What makes it so rare? Now you're probably wondering, what exactly makes a penny worth that much? There are three major factors. Rarity. Error coins, especially from early die strikes, are extremely limited. Condition. Mint state, MS, or proof-like coins are graded higher. Demand. Collectors around the world want pristine, rare copper coins. The 1980 penny hits all 3 points. That it's from the last pure copper era. It carries a rare double die error, and it's in perfect uncirculated condition. When these three elements combine, you're not holding a penny anymore, that you're holding a treasure. How to identify a valuable 1980 penny? All right, now it's your turn. Grab your coins and start looking closely. Here's what you should check. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 1. Look for the date, 1980. If it's clear and crisp, good start. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 2. Check for a mint mark under the date. D means Denver Mint. NO mint mark means Philadelphia Mint. Magnifying glass tilted left. Step 3. Examine the word Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice any doubling or shadow-like effect, that's a potential double die. Inspect the edges. Some rare pennies have broad strike errors or off-center strikes. Use a small magnet. If it sticks, it's not a real copper penny. The 1980 copper ones should not be magnetic. And finally, if you find one in brilliant, shiny, uncirculated condition, do not spend it. Put it in a coin holder immediately and get it appraised. Where to sell or grade your coin? Once you believe you've got something rare, you can send it for grading to one of the top professional companies like Sadface. Professional Coin Grading Service. These companies will authenticate your coin and give it a grade. A higher grade means higher value, sometimes hundreds of times more. When you're ready to sell, you can use major auction sites like Heritage Auction, Stack's Bowers, or even eBay, if verified with certification. Remember, always get it graded first. That's what separates a $1 coin from a $1 million coin. Did you know? If you melt down a 1980 penny for its copper, the metal alone would be worth more than 3 cents today. But melting U.S. coins is illegal, so collectors hold onto them instead. And the older they get, the rarer they become. Also, the U.S. Mint produced numbered 1980 proof pennies in San Francisco for circulation. So any that exist in circulation today are even more special. Some 1980 coins even show faint minting cracks or die chips that make them totally unique collectibles. Ending message. The moral of the penny. So next time you find an old penny, don't ignore it. That small copper coin might carry a story worth millions. Think about it. A penny once meant nothing, but today it could mean financial freedom, a dream home, or even a life-changing opportunity. The 1980 Lincoln penny reminds us that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes, treasures hide in plain sight, in your wallet, your piggy bank, or a box of forgotten change. So before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. Because you might just be holding your golden ticket to a millionaire's life. Moneybag sparkles. Have you ever wondered that a single 1-cent coin, a simple Lincoln penny you might carry in your pocket right now, could secretly be worth over $5.10 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today we're diving deep into one of the most shocking and unbelievable discoveries in coin history. The 1974 Lincoln penny, a coin that changed the lives of a few lucky people forever. So stay till the end, because by the time you finish watching this video, you might rush to check every penny in your house. And who knows, you could be holding a fortune. The history behind the 1974 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American history since 1909. Introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, for decades, it was made from 95% copper, a metal that gave it that rich red-brown shine collectors love. But in 1974, something unusual happened. The U.S. Mint was facing rising copper prices. The cost of making a penny was getting higher than the value of the coin itself. So the mint began experimenting with a new material, aluminum. They struck over 1.5 million aluminum pennies as test samples. But before they could officially release them, the plan was canceled. Most of these coins were melted down, but a few mysteriously escaped into the public, and those are the coins that made history. The coin that shocked the WLD. Imagine this. You're counting your change one day, and you notice a penny that looks a bit different, lighter in color, almost silvery. You take a closer look and see the date, 1974. First, you might think it's fake. But in reality, it could be one of the ultra-rare 1974 aluminum Lincoln pennies worth millions of dollars. In fact, in 2014, one such penny was valued at $250,000 to $2 million, and experts believe the true market value today could exceed $5.1 million, depending on its condition and mint mark. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, one from the Denver Mint and a few from Philadelphia. They are so rare that even the U.S. Secret Service once confiscated some, claiming they were never meant to be in circulation. That's how precious and powerful this 1-cent coin really is. How to identify a 1974 rare penny. Now, here's where things get exciting for you. That if you have a 1974 penny, it might look ordinary, but there are a few key details that could make it worth a fortune. Backhand index pointing right first. Check the material if it feels lighter than a normal copper penny, around 1 gram instead of 3.1 grams. It could be aluminum. Backhand index pointing right second. Look for the mint mark. A small letter D under the date means it was struck at the Denver Mint, and those are the rarest of all. Backhand index pointing right third. Look at the condition. If it still has that silvery shine and hasn't been scratched or worn down, its value skyrockets. A clean, preserved coin can turn you from a regular collector into a millionaire overnight. Why this penny is worth $5.10 million. So why exactly does a coin worth 1 cent now have a market value of over $5.10 million? It's all about rarity, history, and mystery. These pennies represent a moment in U.S. history, a government experiment that never officially happened because the mint destroyed almost all of them. The few survivors became priceless relics. Collectors from around the world have been searching for these coins for decades, bidding higher and higher prices at auctions. And now, with the coin market booming, even ordinary 1974 copper pennies in mint state condition can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the 1974 aluminum penny, that's the holy grail. The coin that could change your life forever. Where to check your signs before you run off to the nearest pawn shop. Listen carefully. To make sure your coin is genuine, you'll need a professional appraisal or a coin grading service. The top names include ANAX, American Numismatic Association Certification Service. Send them your coin for grading. If it turns out to be authentic, congratulations. You're sitting on a life-changing treasure. Real stories of lucky FRS over the years. A few incredible stories have surfaced. Point 1 report described a college student who found a strange silvery penny while helping his father clean out old change. When tested, it turned out to be a 1974 aluminum penny, and experts estimated it to be worth millions. Another collector purchased a coin collection for a few $100s, and hidden among the rolls was one of these legendary pennies. That single coin alone could retire his entire family. It just proves, sometimes, luck hides in plain sight. Final message to VRS. So, next time you see a 1974 Lincoln penny in your change jar or an old drawer, don't ignore it. Hold it up to the light. Feel its weight. Look closely at its color and mint mark, because you might be holding the next $5.1 million penny. Coins like these remind us that history is not just in museums. It's in our pockets, waiting to be discovered. Your luck could be sitting in your hands right now. And one small coin could make you rich overnight. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, secrets of U.S. currency, and millionaire coin stories every week. Who knows? Your next penny might just be the one that changes your life forever. Moneybag, this is the story of the 1974 Lincoln penny, the $5.1 million coin of dreams.